So with the release of Destined Rivals, we have two new rival battle decks, Marnie and Stevens. Today we're going to talk about Marnies. Now keep in mind these are a level 2 play deck, and so they're not great for competitive scenes, but they're great for like playing around with friends. But I'm going to show you how to adjust the Marnie's deck to make it competitively playable while still keeping the core aspect of the Marnie's deck. So let's get into it. Now keep in mind there's absolutely nothing wrong with this deck. I think it just does need a few adjustments. So let's take a look at what the deck has to offer right now. So the main EX is the Grimmsnarl, which is alright. It does 180 damage with 30 damage on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. But the main thing is the Punk Up ability, which allows you, once you evolve it, on the turn you evolve it, you can put up to 5 basic Dark Energies on any of your Marnie's Pokemon. So you couldn't put it on a Monkey Dory, it has to be a Marnie's Pokemon. And that's really beneficial when you pair it with the Morpeko, Marnie's Morpeko, because this does more damage for each Dark Energy attached to this Pokemon. Now, that sounds great in theory, but in application, it's really hard to get Morpeko up in the active spot and attack and last more than one round. Because he's only got 70 health, and there's no Bravery Charm built into this deck. So you're basically loading up Morpeko to attack once, and you expect him to be KO'd the next round. And then there goes all your energies. Now, Pokemon did bring back a really cool card that used to be in rotation, but hasn't been in rotation in a while. That is Energy Recycler. So with that, you shuffle 5 basic energy cards from your discard into your deck, which could be good because you can get those 5 energies back into your deck. So that way, when you evolve another Grimmsnarl, you can load up another Morpeko, and it's just kind of rinse and repeat. However, it's very difficult in application to actually pull off. So playing with the base deck, what I've really done is just attack with the Grimmsnarl for 180 and just kind of build up 3 Grimmsnarls on the bench. And like with any other trainer-themed card, you've got trainer-themed trainer cards. So Spikemuth Gem, you can search your deck for any Marnie's Pokemon, which is great because you can search for a Grimmsnarl to get your EX in your hand or so on. Other than Grimmsnarl and Morpeko, the Leopard does 140 damage. It's only got 100 health. This Scrafty does 160, but it does 30 to yourself. So a lot of weak cards with low HP that really can only last one hit before being taken out. Now this deck is excellent against a Gardevoir deck because Gardevoir and any Psychic cards are weak to Dark. You can make easy work of the Gardevoir decks. Now let's take a look at the adjustments I've made. I have played around with the base Marnie's deck, and I've won a few times, but it's not great for the competitive play. Like I said, you can play it with friends. It's really great to learn and pilot. It's easy to pilot. But if you're wanting to take it to local challenges, you're going to need to make some adjustments, and quite a few adjustments. So right off the bat, what I've done is taken out most of the Marnie's Pokemon and left the Grimmsnarl. And then I've added 2 Monkey Dories. Since we're dealing with Dark Energies anyway, it's really great to have the Monkey Dories to move damage around. Now, you can't use Grimmsnarl's ability on Monkey Dory because it's not a Marnie's Pokemon, but that's all right. We're also going to pair that with Frostless, which has an ability where you put 1 damage counter on each checkup for a Pokemon that has an ability. So we're just going to be moving damage around with these. And then, of course, we got the Badoo in the deck just for a lock early game. We've added an A-Spec. I'm still not fully sure what A-Spec I want to play with, but I think for now Secret Box is okay. That we can get all the cards we need in our hand, and we should be smooth sailing if we can get this card early on. Now, there were no Arvins in the original deck, so we've added 4 Arvins. And that would be a good way to get our Secret Box in our hand. And then I have taken out the Energy Recycler, and I have replaced it with Earthen Vessels, Night Stretcher, and a Super Rod. I feel like it's just more applicable, and especially since we're not using the Morpeko, we're not going to be losing a lot of energies right off the bat. We also decreased from 14 to 10 energies, and let's put this in action and see how it does. Alrighty, so you may be wondering, why would you buy a pre-built deck if you're going to change it so fundamentally? This is just for competitive play. And so if you're just wanting to play with the deck with friends, I would say keep it as is. It's kind of a fun deck to play. But in a competitive scene, you're going to get thrown around and beat down pretty often just because there's not much diversity in the deck. It's just kind of straightforward with the Marnie's Pokemon. Like, okay, set up the Marnie's Pokemon, move energies around, attack. There's not much strategization to adjust on the fly, which is why we're adding some of the more meta Pokemon in here, like Badoo, Frostless, Monkey Dory. But that being said, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the pre-built deck. It's actually one of the better pre-built decks that have come out in the Scarlet and Violet era. I feel like there haven't been many great stage 2 or play level 2 decks. So this is a nice relief that they actually came out with something good. So Badoo is really good in this if you can get it on the bench early on and in the active spot, because you can item lock them while we set up our board. And that's, I mean, obviously that's the point of Badoo, is to set your board up and kind of block your opponent from getting their board set up. Alrighty, so all 3 of their Pokemon have abilities, which is great, which means our Frostless will do some good work next round. So we're just going to Itchy Pollen and move on until we get the Grimmsnarl. Get rid of one of these, and we can get our Grimmsnarl. I should have actually gotten rid of the Morgarim, but that's fine. We are going to Rare Candy, Impidimp, and we are going to... I don't really need to use that. I'll use it, though. That way, in case I need to retreat, I can. We're going to put our Grimmsnarl up, because if I wait any longer, I need to get ahead of this guy and put 2 here. So 180 damage. So it is a little concerning that I only have 1 Grimmsnarl on my board, because if he gets KO'd, I've got no attackers. So we really need to focus on getting another one on the board. We have the Morgrim, but that does me no good. Okay, so this is really good. He must not have an electric energy because he switched to the Latias. What we're going to do is we are going to Boss's Orders, the Iron Hands back. Ooh, that's good. Okay, we got another Impidimp on the board, so we are going to Boss's Orders. We are going to get the Iron Hands back because he's the biggest threat. His move will take 1 more prize. And so we're going to do this. We're going to keep whittling away. Man, he's really got a something smorgasbord of cards. I don't even know what his strategy is. So I need to Iono just because I have nothing great on the board. What if I get a Grimmsnarl and a Rare Candy? What are the odds of that? Ooh, Munkidori. That's really nice. The problem is Super Rod, Iron, Buddy Poffin. I really need a Dark Energy. Nope, that does me no good. Let's go ahead and do the Super Rod. We're going to put him back, and we're going to put him back. If I can somehow get an Ultra Ball or a way to get the Grimmsnarl the next round, I will have one on the board. It'll take out the Ho-Oh, but the problem is they'll just put the Durant back and take me out. So we shall see what's going to happen. Man, it's unfortunate we haven't been able to get our second Frostless on the board. Well, okay. Alright, so he won on that one. He's going to move around and he'll be able to put damage on it. So that was a really good match. He had an interesting hand. I've never played anything like that.